Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me Arora and welcome to the economics class. So here is the lesson 1 for Indian economy development, part B of your economics syllabus. So here we are starting with the chapter number 1, that is Indian economy on the eve of independence. So let me give a brief introduction about this topic, about this chapter, what we will be covering in this chapter, and what certain things you need to keep in mind. Number 1. We will be covering this chapter in certain parts. This is the part 1. So in the further parts, I will be telling you about various sectors of the economy and their situations. So as the name suggests, we will be covering the situation of India from the day of independence, from the eve of independence, right? So when the colonials left our country, what was our situation? We will be covering that situation in this chapter. Because before knowing the certain steps that we took, it's very important to know what was the background of the economy. So let's get started with the small introduction of our country, small, brief background of it. So India's present day economic structure had deeply historical roots. Like आज की जो इंडियन इकोनॉमी है, जो उसकी करंट सिचुएशन है, वो उसकी हिस्टोरिकल रूट से ही इन्फ्लुएंस्ड है, लाइक अफेक्टेड है, राइट? हिस्ट्री में पास्ट में जो चीजें हुई हैं, जो सिनारियोज हुए हैं, उनके बेसिस पे तो आज जो सिचुएशन है, जो हम फेस कर रहे हैं, सिचुएशन जो चीजें आज चल रही हैं, उनके बेसिस पे चल रही हैं. इफ इट इज इन द पॉजिटिव वे, whether it is in a negative way, it is going through just because of the past history that we are having, right? So before Britishers' colonization, India was known as Soni ki Chidiya, the golden bird. So the old name of India is this, as you all know, and as you all have studied earlier as well in your histories, right? And the British exploited India economically to serve their own industrial growth. And what was the motive of Britishers by their exploiting our resources just because they had to make their own benefit? They are using our India to sell their products. They are taking out the resources from our country to sell that resources in their own country, to modify it and sell the goods in their own country. They used to make clothes here, they used to manufacture here, they used to send it to the Britain and they sell it there. They make profit out of it. So that's the motive of Britishers to come to cover the India, right? So understanding this exploitative relationship is very essential. It's very essential to appreciate India's current economic development over the past 7 decades. Like over the past 7 decades, we are working for it to just improve our economy, but due to the Britishers, due to the colonials, we are not able to do so. So it is very, very important to understand the current situation, understand the past situation that we are having, and so that we can appreciate our Indian economy current situation, like how much they have developed themselves. After understanding this chapter, you also need to understand like what is the situation of our Indian economy nowadays and what it was having earlier. So you can compare it and you can conclude it like how much development we have inculcated in our country. Right? So this is a brief introduction about our Indian history and what are the key features of pre-colonial Indian economy. Like key feature means pre-colonial Indian economy, it means before the colonial Indian economy, before the Britishers. What was the features of our Indian economy? So India had an independent economy before British rule. It was an independent economy. No one was there to control it. Agriculture was the main source of livelihood. As our economy is known as the agrarian economy, so we are having agriculture as a main occupation here, as a main working livelihood here, so as to the people are working in agriculture field and surviving their livelihood. So it is a basic occupation that is used, and it is known globally for handicraft industries, cotton and silk textiles, and metalwork and the precious stone. Like it is well known for its handicraft industry. Like we are having certain handicraft industries, we are having courts, we are having priests, we are having kings and queens, we are having lords, which used to like these kind of stuffs. handicraft industries, handmade things, handmade posters, handmade clothes, silk, textiles, metal work, precious stones. So they used to like this. So princely courts and kings and their lords, they used to purchase these kind of things. That's why our India is well known for such things. So these kind of stuffs being exported to different countries as well. And Indian products had a high standard of craftsmanship. How craftsmanship? Like we are having the hand culture. We used to craft by using our hands. We used to craft by using our hands, and we also used to make certain handmade goods, handicraft things, handmade clothes, handmade jewelries, so as to attract our foreign people. And earlier, we are having certain more talent of hands. Like we used to do things, we used to make things using our hands, crafts, art and crafts, poultry farm, potteries, and we just make good pots using mud. So these kind of things make our Indian product having a high standard of craftsmanship, right? So it was the basic features of the Indian economy. What are the economic policy that the Britishers had followed? They aimed to serve British economic interests, not the Indian development. What was their objective? Why they were here? They were here only to serve their own economic interest, not our interest. They do not having a single thought of improving our Indian culture, our Indian economy. They are here just to improve their own culture, just to improve their to serve their own economic interest. So they are not having a single thought of improving our India, right? And the second thing is they transform India into a supplier of raw material and consumer of British finished goods. We are having raw materials, we are having certain good kind of clothes, good kind of material with us. So India has been transformed into a role of a supplier. They used to supply raw material to the foreign countries and being a consumer of the British finished goods. Like in the Britain, they used to make the product, they used to import it into the country, or our country, India, and our Indians used to purchase it. They being the consumer of the British finished goods. We are being the customers of them. We are using British culture, right? That's why because they are having a market here, huge market here. That's why they are targeting India. And it resulted in deindustrialization. What is deindustrialization? It means closing down of industries and giving it to the private sector. So this is deindustrialization and economic dependence. Why economic dependence? Because for each and everything we are totally depending upon Britishers. Like they will give us the goods, they will give us the finished goods, we will purchase it, then we will only purchase it. So we are not interdependent. We are just dependent, totally dependent on the Britishers at that time. But now we have just improved. As you know, we are having a campaign as well in our country that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Why it is so? It is to make it self-dependent. I hope you are getting this. I know it is a little boring and it is a little thing sort of historical facts, but it is very, very important to get to know these kind of stuffs because you have to write these things in your examinations as well. You have to explain all the story in your examination whenever you will be getting any question relating to the past historical situation of India, the Britishers' motive, objectives for be there in India. Next, we are having is low national income. At that point of time, we are having a very low national income and very less per capita income. No official body was there to estimate national income before independence. As you have studied national income in the macroeconomics, you know how important it is to estimate. But there were no official body who used to estimate national income before independence, and there is no system to calculate it. There's no metrics how to calculate it, how to just decide whether we are in a good situation, we are in a bad situation. So there is nothing like that. So we were having Dadabhai Naroji there who made the first estimate of national income in 1876. So you have to learn this year, you have to learn this name. He was the one who made the first estimation of the national income. And next we are having Dr. V.K.R.V. Rao who introduced scientific estimation in 1931. So he also introduced a scientific estimation in 1931, and earlier Data estimated the first. So you have to learn both these names because this will be coming in your examination through MCQ and through any of the objective questions. And in 1947 to 48, like in the financial year of the independence, our per capita income was rupees 280 and national income growth was 2.0% and per capita income growth was 0.5%, which is very, very less as compared to now, right? So that situation was not good. That situation was worse. So we are having certain reforms in our country to improve the situation, right? So this is all from my side for this particular session. And in the next session, we will be covering certain more sectors of Indian economy and going into the detail of it, how certain sectors are affected with the British rules, British policies, and what were the adverse situation that they are facing. How they have overcome it, we will be covering in the next chapter, but only in this chapter we will be covering the situation. Okay, so till then, stay safe, stay tuned with the channel, and we will be coming very soon with the next video with the agriculture sector first. As we are having the agrarian economy, so we will be coming with the agriculture sector first. So for this subject, I'll suggest you to make notes, learn them, and revise them just before the next section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thanks so much.